श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So yesterday we saw the disciple presenting his doubts in a very beautiful structured way, and we also mentioned vivarto api prapancho me. May satyavad bhati sarvada. The may should be associated with the previous statement and the later statement through Dehali Deepa Nyaya. Okay, so it is a common word for both the sides. Like the lamp is common for both the sides, this may is common for both the sides. May with the previous in me, vivartopi, though it is a superimposed, a seeming transformation. The world is a seeming transformation in me. So he understands Vedanta. That is what we want to understand here. Then he says, for me, it seems to be real. Though it is a seeming transformation in me, it seems to be real for me. This is what is the reason for confusion. So this doubt you please remove. evaṃ śiṣyavacaḥ śrutvā gururāhottaraṃ sphuṭam. So that one line we will take it separated from the shloka and keep it like that. Because here now there are these three questions which are presented by the disciple, and hereafter it is going to be monologue of Guru. Now this statement is a connecting statement between the previous three shlokas and the later shlokas. What does this statement say? evaṃ śiṣyavacaḥ śrutvā. In this way, after hearing the words of the disciple, gururāhottaraṃ aha sphuṭam. Gururāhottaraṃ sphuṭam uttaram aha. The Guru gave a very clear answer. Sphuṭam means clear. He spoke very clearly. He explained things very clearly, as though he didn't speak clearly earlier. He spoke clearly, but still there is a doubt. So to clear that doubt, Guru is speaking again very clearly. Okay, now what should he start with? He should have to start with from where the disciple stands. So what is the situation of the disciple? Disciple said, jagatkaranam ajñānaṃ chit samanvitam manaha sākṣi. So he started with the cause for first jagat, the cause for jagat, ignorance, the one which perceives the jagat, the mind, and the desire for liberation, bondage. So these are the words which the disciple used. So all those words which the disciple used should be taken to make him understand that it is wrong. So the Guru says, na ajñānaṃ na ca buddhiśca na jagat na ca sākṣitā bandhamokṣādayaḥ sarve kṛtāḥ satye'dvaye tvayi na ajñānaṃ na ca buddhihi ca na jagat na sākṣitā bandhamokṣādayaḥ sarve kṛtāḥ satye'dvaye tvayi. Na ajñānaṃ, ignorance is the cause for the creation, right? Jagat karanam ajñānaṃ chit samanvitam. Of course, Chaitanya consciousness is associated with everything, so we don't have to specifically say it here. Ajñānaṃ is the cause. Okay, then creation. No, he doesn't go to the creation. Buddhiśca, there is no intellect also. He's not talking about the you don't have any intellect. He's saying the mind. There is no mind also. Whether you call it mind or you call it intellect, whether you call it mana or buddhi, does not really matter. It's all antakarana, different functionalities of antakarana. So he says even that mind does not exist. So you have to understand an important thing. The cause, the ignorance does not exist. And after the effect of creation, the one which perceives the creation, that intellect also does not exist. That mind also does not exist. So the beginning does not exist, the end does not exist. Meaning whatever in between two does not exist. Ādau, antau, yan nasti, madhyepi, tat tathā. There is a rule. This is both in Nagarjuna's text as well as the Mandukya Karika. Whatever does not exist in the beginning, whatever does not exist in the end, in the middle also, in between also, it is so. Meaning it does not have any existence. If something does not have existence in the beginning and something does not have existence at the later stage, in the middle also it does not have any existence. Before the creation did not exist. After the dissolution, the creation does not exist. In the middle also, the creation does not exist. That is the perception. So, the cause, ignorance does not exist. The mind which perceives the effect, that also does not exist. Therefore, in between, the Jagat also does not exist. Jagatchana, the world also does not exist. So, the cause, ignorance, the creation, Jagat, that which perceives the creation, the mind, they don't exist. Now, he says, sākṣitā na. There is no being a witness. Witness state. Sākṣitā means witness state. Witnessness. Witnesshood. There is no witnessness also. There is no one to witness anything. Why? Because for being a witness, there should be something to be witnessed. Sākṣya. There is nothing here. We already destroyed saying there is no cause, ignorance. There is no, because Sakshi is the one which perceives the ignorance. We made it clear yesterday. It is not established through any other pramana except Sakshi. So, Sakshi perceives the ignorance. Sakshi perceives the creation. Sakshi perceives the mind. When we have negated all these three, what is there for this witness to witness? So, the witness also does not exist. It's a relative idea. Witness is a relative idea with reference to the witnessed. So, when the witnessed does not exist, I cannot be witness. So, the crime didn't happen, but I was the witness. Who can say I claim to be witness for something which didn't happen, which does not exist? So, that is, there is no witness. Bandhamokṣādayaḥ sarve satye'dvaye tvayi kṛtāḥ. Then bondage and liberation. Sarve bandhamokṣādayaḥ, sarve ete. All this, right from the ignorance till the final stage, all these, they are bondage and they are in between bondage and liberation. So, the bondage and liberation, all this, they are superimposed in you who is the real, who is the truth. Satye'dvaye, in you who is the truth. The word satya is used instead of atma. Atmani tvayi, brahmani tvayi. Instead of saying in you the Brahman, in you the Atman, he says in you the truth, Satya. Why? Because the Shruti explains Satyam Brahma. Brahman is Satyam. And in the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi also, he starts with Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. Oh Shvetaketu, that is truth. That is self. That you are. That you are means that Satyam you are. That truth you are. You are that truth. So, he says, bandhamokṣādayaḥ sarve satye, in real, in the truth, you. Truth, how many truths are there? Truths are, like you said, relative. Truth are also multiple truths. We saw that yesterday. Where should we start the class from? 46. No, 155. No, 46. 155. What? I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Then, no. 45 recordings. So we have to start from 46th recording. 155 is the point. We should have to start from 156 point. Oh, you are also right. I am also right. So there can be two rights possible in the world, or multiple perception in the world, but not with reference to the self. There is only one truth. There is no two truths, multiple truths. So he says, sarve satye, all these which are not real, They are superimposed. Tvayi kṛtāḥ, in you it is done. It is done means it is superimposed. It is superimposed in you who is the truth, non-dual truth. Advaye satye'dvaye, in non-dual truth you, all these are superimposed. Remember the words properly. Advaye tvayi, in you. The disciple said, in me. These are seeming transformation exists. These seeming transformation exists in me. The Guru also reiterates, in you they exist, not in me. This is a very important valid point. I'll come to that later. Okay. Now, they are not real. That is the idea. bhātītyukte jagatsarvaṃ sadrūpaṃ brahma tadbhavet sarpādau rajjusatteva brahmasattaiva kevalam prapañcādhārarūpeṇa vartate jagatnahi. So remember, take a note that the Guru said tvayi, in you. That has a importance. I'll explain it later. Okay, I promised you I'll explain that. bhātītyukte jagatsarvaṃ sadrūpaṃ brahma tadbhavet sarpādau rajjusatteva brahmasattaiva eva kevalam prapañcādhārarūpeṇa vartate tad nahi. Okay. Sarvam jagat bhāti. The disciple said, satyevat bhāti. Jagat satyevat bhāti. Meaning the world seems to shine like as though it is real. Satyavat, as though it is real. It shines as though it is real. Satyevat bhāti, he said that. So the Guru takes that for discussion. So he says, when you say sarvam jagat bhāti, satyavat, asatyavat does not really matter. Bhāti means shines. Bha prakashani is the root word. Bhāti means shines. So if you say that the world shines, what does that mean? World shines. What does that mean really? So he says, tad sadrūpaṃ brahma bhavet. It will become the self which has the inherent nature of existence. Which is of the inherent nature of existence. It becomes self. What? I said this world is shining. When did I say that it existed? Shining and existence are different, right? No. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. When we say satyam jnanam anantam brahma, they are not one definition or attributes for Brahman, but satyam brahma, jnanam brahma, anantam brahma. They all are definitions individually of that Brahman. So whether you say satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma, you can replace any which word with any which word. Meaning satyam, 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 or jnanam, 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 or anantam, 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 or brahma, 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 brahma. 4 times I am replacing the words. Satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma. You can replace it all with any word. Does not really matter. Because they are all synonyms. So, when I say satyam, when I say bhāti, jnanam, I already accepted it is satyam. But still, okay, let us go to another logic. There is a statement, there's a shloka which says, asti bhāti priyam nāmarupa iti ancha panchakam ādyatrayam brahmano rūpam jagatrūpam tatodvayam. Asti bhāti priyam nama rūpam. Asti, existence. Bhāti, shines. Priyam, loved. Nama, name. Rupa, form. These 5 parts. In these 5 parts, the first 3, existence, shining, and being loved. These 3 are the nature of self. How? Existence, sat, shining, chit, and priya, ananda. You don't love something which is painful. So, priya, ananda. Sat, chit, ananda. This is the nature of the self. form of the self, nature of the self. So he says, when you say the world shines without existence, what will shine in this world? When I say this cup shines, I already presuppose that it has existence. When you say shines, you presuppose its existence. So he says, if you say the world shines, then you've already given its, you said satye'dvaye. You don't have to say satye'dvaye. You say bhāti. If by saying bhāti, you already presuppose that it has existence. Satya. Meaning it is of the nature of self. If it is of the nature of self, you cannot do anything to get rid of it. How can you get rid of the self? So he says, I'll explain. Sarpādau rajjusatteva. Like in the snake, etc., the existence of the rope. The existence of the rope is what is seen on the snake, etc. Snake, etc. What is snake, etc.? Okay, there is a rope. You see a snake. That does not necessarily mean that I also have to superimpose snake. Say it's a cloth, or it's a stick, or it's a water flow. Each one can superimpose different things on one substratum rope. So whatever it may be, you say snake exists. Where did the existence come from? From the rope. There are two superimpositions. One is the superimposition of attributed dharmi, and there the next is the superimposition of attributes dharma. Dharmi adhyasa, dharma adhyasa we call it. Dharmi adhyasa means the superimposition of attributed. Dharma adhyasa means the superimposition of attributes. When I say the rope as snake, I remove the attributed rope and I superimpose the attributed snake. This is first attribution, superimposition. Then I see the length of the rope as the length of the snake. The length of the rope is the attribute of the rope. I am superimposing it on the snake. The color of the rope, I am superimposing it on the snake. So this is attribute superimposition. So both superimposition exists here. Now, the existence of the rope is seen as the existence of the snake. Right? So he says, evaṃ brahmasattaiva eva prapañcādhārarūpeṇa kevalam vartate. The existence of the existenceness of the Brahman alone, the existenceness of the Brahman alone exists in the form of the substratum of the creation. The existenceness of the Brahman exists as the substratum of the superimposition of prapañca, creation. So essentially, the superimposition of snake takes all the identity of rope as its own. Similarly, the superimposition of the creation, the world, takes away the identity of the Brahman as its own, the existence as its own. In fact, tad jagat nahi. In reality, there is no creation. There is no creation in reality. But the existence of the snake, the rope is seen in the snake. Similarly, the existenceness of the self is seen in the world. But I experience the world. I cannot say this. For that he says, okay, let us say, yathekṣumabhisaṃvyāpya śarkarā vartate tathā āścaryabrahmarūpeṇa tvaṃ vyāpto'si jagatsarvaṃ. There are two examples. This is the first example and the next is the second example to establish this point he is bringing. There is a difference between these two examples. See, normally when we give examples, we'll say what is the superimposition of the self, the world on the self, like. So I will say like the rope snake, like the mother of pearl silver. Similar examples, but here he is giving two dissimilar examples to drive a point. The first example is a superimposition of existence on existence. Superimposition of existence on existence. The second example is a superimposition of non-existence on existence. First is a superimposition of existence on existence. Existence is substratum. So, superimposition of existence, non-existence on the substratum. The second is a superimposition of non-existent in the substratum. This is the two example. Why do we need that? We'll see that. So he says, yathekṣumabhisaṃvyāpya śarkarā vartate. Tathā āścaryabrahmarūpeṇa tvaṃ vyāpto'si jagatrayam. So the yatha ikshu. Ikshu means sugar cane. Sugar cane. Śarkarā ikshum abhisaṃvyāpya. Śarkarā means sugar. So śarkarā, the sugar, where does it exist in the sugar cane? Abhisaṃvyāpya. Abhi means in both sides. Abhitaha, both sides. Samvyāpya. So both sides means where both sides. So you should not have any doubt. So he says samvyāpya, completely engulfing, means front, back, right, left, top, bottom. Everywhere this sugar has pervaded the sugar cane. The sugar has pervaded the sugar cane completely. Similarly, you in the state of sugar have pervaded the creation. What does he say? Tathā, similarly, āścaryabrahmarūpeṇa, this surprising form of Brahman, in that surprising form of Brahman, tvaṃ, you, jagatsarvaṃ vyāptaḥ asi, you have pervaded the three world. The sugar has pervaded the sugar cane. Similarly, you, the self, has pervaded all the three worlds. Now, there is a doubt. Sugar, sugar cane, sugar, sugar cane, sugar, sugar. Yes, I understand sugar has pervaded the sugar cane everywhere. Wait, there is a problem. What is the problem? How do you produce sugar? We are not going to get into details. I just crush the sugar cane, take the juice out, sugar out. Basically, it is sugar. Further down, it is sugar. So, I crush the sugar cane and take the sugar out. What remains? The crushed portion of sugar cane still remains. The crushed sugar cane still remains even after taking the sugar out. So, now if I take the self out of the creation, there is still some existence of the creation, the world. Without the self, they should exist. Somehow, I don't know. Because without the sugar cane, without the sugar, the crushed sugar cane exists. Similarly, without the self, if I split the self, if I remove the self from the creation, it should have to have some existence. Possible? I don't know. So, for that, immediately he goes to the next example. They cannot have any independent existence. To show that, he says, marubhūmau jalam sarvam marubhūmatramev tat jagatrayamidam sarvam chinmatram suvichāratah. Marubhūmau jalam sarvam marubhūmatramev tat jagatrayamidam sarvam chinmatram suvichāratah. Okay. So the first example is a existence superimposed or associated with existence. Now, non-existence in existence. Non-existence in existence. What is that? So he says, marubhumau, in the mirage, in the desert, tad jalam, you see water, mirage water. In desert, you see that water. That water, what existence that water has? Does it have an independent existence? The water, superimposed water, the mirage water? No. Then what is it? Marubhu matrameva. It is just that desert. Apart from the desert, that land, there is no existence of the water, superimposed water. Like if I'm going to superimpose a pot here on the table, that absent pot is of the nature of the table. Similarly, that absent water is of the nature of the ground, the earth. So, similarly, there chinmatram sarvam jagatrayam idam. So, suvicharata, if you are going to properly inquire into it, suvicharata, by properly inquiring into it, idam jagatrayam sarvam chinmatram eva. The whole three worlds, all the three worlds, all the three states, all the three bodies, they are all nothing but the consciousness. Because jagat means, we said it can mean the three worlds, it can mean the three bodies, it can mean the three states. Because jayate gacchati iti jagat, that which comes and goes, agantuka, that which is temporary, transient. So he says, when you inquire into it properly, there is nothing called jagat. It is only the self. Chin matrameva, the consciousness alone remains, nothing else other than the consciousness. Now, very good. So he says, brahmadistamba paryantaha praninatvai kalpitaha buddhādi tarangantaha vikara sagare yatha. Brahmadistamba paryantaha praninaha tvayi kalpitaha buddhādi tarangantaha vikaraha sagare yatha. Now, I promised something. I said I will explain it later. Tvayi kalpitaha, don't have to turn the pages. In you, it is superimposed. Now, why did he say that? He is bringing the same idea here. This has to be explained here. Brahmadi stamba paryantaha. Right from the Brahmaji, the creator, the first creation, till the last minimum of the creation, which is a stamba. Stamba means it can mean a small insect, or it can mean a straw, a grass. Right from the Brahmaji till a grass, whatever is the creation, pranina, all this creation, all these beings, tvayi kalpita, are superimposed in you. Why he has to say that? In you. Because this has to be understood. If in the previous also he said that if it's all imagination, then why is the guru teaching the disciple? The guru teaches the disciple. There is a duality, right? So if you have, because people bring in this idea, oh, he will have this doubt, therefore he has to explain the duality. They will exist even after realization. They have to be explained. Don't get into any of this stupidity. The guru is very clear. He categorically says, tvayi kalpita, in you it is superimposed, not in me, not in us. It is superimposed in you. That means your superimposition is what is bringing this whole world, including the guru. Once you understand, the whole thing is a superimposition. What? That cannot be accepted. Yes, let us suppose. What is superimposition? What is the cause for this superimposition? Ignorance. Ignorance, the defect of ignorance is the cause for the superimposition. Forget about that. You see the multiplicity in dream. What is the cause for dream? The sleep. Sleep defect is the cause for dream. The defect of sleep is the cause for dream. Right? So, in the dream, whatever you see, whatever you experience is not real. You cannot come and say, Guruji, you promised to give me that in the dream. Yeah, I could have promised. But if you come to me and say, then I have only two answers. A, let me also have that dream where you come and ask me, I will give you in the dream. Or, or if that dream comes to me, I will give you. Only two answers. So here the Guru says, tvayi kalpitaha. In you it is superimposed. So the whole creation, the whole duality is superimposed in you. If you still don't understand, he is giving you the example. Buddhādi tarangantaha vikaraha sagare yatha. Right from the Brahmaji to the smallest of creation is superimposed on you, like the Buddha. Buddha means foam. Taranga means the waves. Right from the foam till the waves, all these are superimposed on the ocean. Foam is water. The wave is water. Ocean is water. So, a person who knows the ocean, who knows it is water, does not differentiate between the waves or the foams. He does not see it dual. But a person who does not understand that, he sees the ocean to be different from the waves, to be different from the foam, etc. So, the perception completely changes from the world of duality to the non-duality, not to the world of non-duality, from the world of duality to non-duality, where nothing exists other than the self. But I came in desire of knowing myself to get liberated. Yes, I'll give you an answer for that. He says, Tarangattam dhruvam sindhu na vanchati yatha tatha vishayananda vanchate na sadananda rupataha. There are two things. One is, see, the worldly things. There is a bliss, there is a happiness which you gain through the worldly things. There is a happiness which you gain through the worldly things. Normally, what we say is, the worldly objects are inert. How can an inert object have the bliss in it? Natural, that's a good logic. That's not a bad logic. That's the logic. But here, he is not refuting this idea of happiness in the world like that. He first accepts the happiness in the world as it is. The world has happiness, it's okay. But understand what that happiness is. The Shruti statement very clearly says, Anyan matram upajivanti. The others experience a very little tiny portion of this bliss. The bliss of the self. In all these, whatever bliss, happiness exists, that is a wee bit, a tiny portion of that self. The bliss of the self. So, with reference to that, he says, Tarangattam dhruvam sindhu na vanchati. Yatha tatha vishayananda vanchate na sadananda rupatha. Okay. So, you desire for happiness in the world. When do you desire? When do you get satisfied with the world? When do you get happy or when do you get satisfied with the world? When it gives me happiness, when it gives me satisfaction? No. That is not true. That is not true. That is a stupid answer, actually. The answer is, when you are not satisfied already, when you are not happy already, then there is a possibility of it giving you satisfaction or happiness by adding something or removing something. You can either gain happiness or satisfaction only by adding something to it or removing something from it. When you are not happy or satisfied before. But let us suppose you are already satisfied. Then, like when you are already full, when you cannot eat anything, you are already filled. Even a good food will become like poison. You say, no, I don't want. I said, I don't want. Over. Even when you are hungry, the food cooked by my mother, no, I don't want. That is the situation. We know that there can be no satisfaction there. So in that situation, it is not, there is satisfaction before. We know it is not something which can give me satisfaction. This is an example. Why? He says, tarangat yatha sindhuhu tarangattam dhruvam na vanchati. Dhruvam tarangattam na vanchati. The Sindhu, the ocean, dhruvam, definitely, tarangattam, the state of being a wave, na vanchati, does not desire. The ocean does not desire to gain the state of being the wave. It is its inherent nature. Why will it desire its inherent nature? Wave is ocean. Foam is ocean. It does not desire to have that. Similarly, tathā, similarly, sadanandarupatate, you who are of the inherent nature of bliss, not agantuka bliss, not a temporary bliss, sadanandarupaha. You are one who is ever blissful, ever satisfied. When you are that, then vishyananda vancha na. How can you have desire for the happiness of the world? Vishyananda is accepted as an Ananda also. In Panchadashi, the first 5 chapters is 15 chapters. The first 5 chapters is Viveka Panchaka. The second 5 chapters is Deepa Panchaka. The final 5 chapters is Ananda Panchaka. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So, the final 5 chapters, he discusses also about this Vishyananda, Vidyananda, etc. Now, Vishyananda also explains. So, he says, how can you desire the happiness of the world? Assuming there is happiness in the world, we say. When you are one who is absolute happiness, how can you desire for happiness outside of you? Even though it may exist, there may be some happiness. How can you desire for that? There is no possibility of desiring for any happiness there. So, he says, we will see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.